MMWFX101. Many brokers offer their own trading platforms, but if you need an online platform that doesn't require any software downloads, my recommendation would be Tradingview. Tradingview is an online charting platform where investors, educators, and market enthusiasts can analyze price patterns, place trades, and connect to share ideas about the market. In this session, I'll be breaking down how you can use Tradingview's charting program to assist you in your future trading endeavors. All right, you guys, so we are here on tradingview.com, and I want to show you how I utilize this tool in order to help improve my trading. I actually use this tool on a daily basis to help me study the markets and find the most optimal positions to enter a trade. When you come to this website, you will have access to a free charting program, all right? But I do want to let you know that there are a few advantages to getting one of TradingView's membership plans. So let's go ahead and take a look at their membership plans and the different pricing. Okay, so as you can see here, TradingView actually offers 3 different plans for investors. They have the Pro plan starting at $12.95, the Pro Plus at $24.95, and the Premium at $49.95, all right? I do want to let you guys know that this is not a paid sponsorship. This is just a platform that I personally use, okay? So when it comes to me, the plan that I have with TradingView is just the Pro plan. So I pay the $12.95 a month, all right? So it's going to be up to you if you want to stay with the free charting program, if you want to upgrade to the Pro Plus, or the Premium. Down here at the bottom, it just shows the differences and the benefits of actually upgrading to a plan. So the reason why I want to get a plan is because I like to look at multiple charts at one time, all right? I like to be able to look at the market on the daily time frame, as well as see what's going on the 1 hour or the 15. You know, I like to have multiple chart layouts up at the same time, as well as I love to set alerts for myself, so that way I'm not looking at the charts all day long. So that's really the great thing about TradingView, is that they make it really convenient for you to be an investor and, you know, have a life. You know, you might have kids, you might go to school, you might have a 9-to-5. That's totally fine, because if you do have, you know, one of these membership plans, you will have the ability to set up alerts for yourself. So that way you don't have to watch the charts all day. So if you guys are interested in learning more about the differences between these plans, definitely come check out tradingview.com, take a look at their plans and figure out which one is going to be the best fit for you. But I want to go ahead and bring our attention back to the charts. So here on the TradingView chart, I want to start with showing you guys how to find your currency pair, okay? So at the top left up here, you can see in blue, it says USD JPY, all right? And as I hovered over it with the cursor, you guys can see the words popped up, symbol search, all right? So you guys can actually come right here, click it, and you have the ability to search any currency pair, any commodity. You see they have stocks, futures, forex, crypto, indices, bonds, economy. You literally have the power to come here and type in whatever. So I'm currently on USD JPY. I want to take a look at EUR JPY. So I'm going to backspace and I'm going to type in EUR JPY. Now, me personally, you guys, I'm going to just pick the very first one, which is from the broker FXCM. I do want you guys to keep in mind, though, if you have any of these brokers listed here, make sure that you are using the chart for that broker, all right? If your broker is a Wanda, you don't want to go ahead and select the FXCM chart, all right? You want to go ahead and select the Owanda chart. And the only reason why this could be a little important, you guys, is because each broker has different price points in the market, all right? So even though you have a Wanda, if you were to use the chart on FXCM, it wouldn't be a huge difference, right? But there would probably be a small price difference between the two. Me personally, I don't have any of these brokers, so I just pick whichever one first comes up. So I'm going to pick FXCM. And now you guys can see we have EUR JPY here on the chart. All right, you know that because up here now we have EUR JPY in blue, as well as underneath it says the euro versus the Japanese yen. All right. So now that you guys know how to search and find your currency pair, let's go ahead and move on to how to select your time frame. So right here, you guys see 1M, right? And when I hover over it with the cursor, you see the words 1 minute pops up, right? This is telling us that we are currently looking at the 1 minute time frame for the currency pair EUR JPY. Now, if I wanted to change this time frame, again, all I would have to do is tap right there where it says 1M. And I have the ability to select, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, right? Going up to the hours, we got 1 hour through 4 hours. We can go by the daily, the week, and even the month, you guys, all right? So if I wanted to see what EUR JPY looked like on the daily, I would just go right here and select 1 day. And you guys, this is what the chart is looking like for EUR JPY on the daily time frame, all right? We see it says D, all right, for 1 day. Also, we have it right here confirming 1D, meaning 1 day, all right? So now that we know how to select what time frame we're looking for, let's go ahead and move on to like how the chart actually looks, all right? So these candles, these just so happen to be Hakanashi candles, you guys. These are my favorite candles to use. That's why this is the default candle. But typically when you come to TradingView, you guys, the default candle will be these, all right? The regular Japanese candlesticks. Now, if you came to TradingView and you didn't like the regular Japanese candlesticks, they have a plethora of options for you to choose from, all right? They got the old school bars here that you can use to trade. They got the hollow candles, which is basically the same thing as Japanese candles. It's just hollow inside for the buyers, it looks like. You can also change this to a line chart. All right, you guys, I actually use the line chart all the time when marking up my support and resistance zones. So I will definitely be showing you guys how to utilize the line chart to help you guys with marking up your charts as well. So this is definitely a useful tool. So you have a plethora of options to choose from when it comes to what you want your chart to look like, what kind of candlesticks you like to use. But I'm going to be honest, you guys, the only ones that I'm going to be telling you the most about during our trainings is going to be the regular Japanese candlesticks like these, the Hakanashi candlesticks like these, or the line chart as I recently showed you guys. So all the other ones, it will be up to you guys if you want to do some research on how to use those, because I personally do not use those to trade. So now I want to go ahead and jump into how to add indicators to your chart, all right? If you guys continue to take a look up here at the top menu, you will see the word indicators, all right? So right here you can click and you can actually type in whatever indicator you want to use, all right? So you guys can see I have a list of favorited indicators. I want to actually add the relative strength index onto my chart, all right? So because I have a membership plan, and I do have it saved, I could just click it right here to add it on my chart. But just for the sake of example, for those of you who may not want to pay for a membership plan right off bat, all you would need to do is come here and type in whatever indicator you need. So like I said, I need the relative strength index. I would just type in relative strength index, right? And it pops up here. Even if I knew the abbreviation for it, you guys, which is the RSI, it still pops up right here, relative strength index. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click it.
And now you can see I have the RSI here on the screen. Now, if you wanted to go in and change the parameters for your RSI, all you would need to do is scroll over to the left here, hover over RSI. You would just select the settings option. And from here, you can actually go ahead and change your parameters.
If I wanted to remove an indicator, for example, you guys, these volume bars from the bottom of my chart, I can see up here at the top left, it says volume, all right? These are my volume bars. If I want to remove them, all I have to do is scroll over to the right and hit the remove X, all right? And now you guys can see I no longer have those pesky little volume bars at the bottom of my chart. Now that I showed you guys how to add indicators, I want to show you how to actually change your chart layout. So if any of you guys actually decide to purchase a plan with TradingView, like I said, one of my favorite things about it is that I get to look at multiple charts at one time. All right. So as you guys can see right now, I am looking at EUR JPY on the daily time frame, right? And that's normal as an investor. But typically when you're looking at trades on the daily time frame, you're going to be looking for your entry on a lower time frame. So with that being said, I love the fact that I can come over here to the right, and right here it says select layout. If I click select layout, you guys can see I have the option to change the way my chart looks, right? I can change my chart layout. So now I have two different charts on one screen. On the right, I have EUR JPY on the daily time frame. On the left, it's the same thing, but I want to actually change it. I want to change the daily down to the 1 hour on the left side. So this is what the 1 hour time frame is looking like for EUR JPY. Let me make this actually bigger. I'm making it smaller. So this is what the 1 hour time frame looks like on EUR JPY. So what I would be doing is finding my setup here on the daily and then finding my entry here on the hourly. And that way, and that's why it's super useful to be able to see both charts at the same time, because you can see when the market is breathing in sync. You can find your most optimal entries that way. But besides chart layout, you guys, you can actually customize so many aspects of your chart. I'm going to actually go, I'm going to actually expand this daily chart because I want to show you guys how you can customize your charts in general. So let's just say you found it very hard to see, your indicators and your candles on this black background, right? If you wanted to change how your chart actually looks, you would just come here to this chart settings tab. And right here, you guys, this is how you can customize how your chart actually looks. So let's say I wanted to have a pink background instead of black. I would just come here to background and I would just change it to pink. I'm going to change it to pink. Now you see I have the option to do like the ombre look, you guys. I can keep one pink, one black, and it kind of looks ombre. If I want it all to be pink, I would just change them both to pink. Now, y'all, this is really loud. We're going to need to change this. Let's change it to blue instead. That's really loud too, you guys. Let's change it back to black. I'm sorry, I can't do all these bright colors right now. It just looks too crazy. All right, but you guys see you can edit how your grid lines look, the color of your scales text. Right now it's like a bluish color, but I'm going to change this to white so we can really see what the numbers say. You can also change the scale lines. I'm going to make it white. And I'm going to change the opacity so we can actually see what they look like. Now you guys can see the scales. Pane separators, I'm going to do the same thing. Now you guys can see that the RSI and the price chart is separate. You can even change, the color of your crosshair, your cursor. I'm going to change that to white as well. I'm also going to change it to a dotted line. You guys, I'm not going to waste too much time editing what this chart looks like because I have my own chart set up. I just really wanted to show you guys how you can come here and customize what your charts actually look like. Right here, you can even change your candle colors, all right? If you wanted your buyers to be pink, you can change it to pink. If you wanted your sellers to be white, you can change them to white. All right, now you guys, if I hit save, we come back. Now you guys can see that we got pink and white candles instead of green and red candles. All right, so you absolutely have the power to customize your chart in any way that you want. I'm going to be honest, there's going to be tools on here during this training that I don't really go over. And the reason being is because they're not that important or I don't use them myself. So my biggest recommendation for you guys is to come to TradingView and play around with this platform. Really study and get to know this platform because they have so many different useful tools for us, you guys, to utilize. So don't just rely on me to give you a tour of this wonderful platform. Take it upon yourself to go to TradingView yourself and check things out, see how things work. But since we are talking about the appearance of the chart, I do want to talk about a few more things. So if we take a look over here on the left side menu of the chart, the first thing we have is our cursor tab. All right. So this actually allows us to choose what we want to hover over the chart with. All right. So you see right now we have a cross. I could change it to a dot. I could change it to a cursor or an arrow, I should say. And I could change it to an eraser if I wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and change it back to the cross. All right, this is pretty much the one that I use all the time. All right, you guys, so after the cursor tab or the cross tab, then we have our trend line tools. All right, so this is where you're going to be able to find, all the things you need in order to mark up your charts. All right, in order to draw your trend lines, in order to draw your support and resistance lines, in order to locate channels, all that good stuff. All right, you're going to find that here in your trend line tools. So if I wanted to go ahead and mark up EUR/JPY here on the daily. Okay, so first off, I can see that EUR/JPY is currently buying, right? It's currently in an uptrend. And the reason I know that is because I can see the market creating higher highs and higher lows. Now, someone who is not used to the market may not be able to see how this market is trending up, right? So you guys, trend lines are used to help you visualize and see when the market is moving up and when it is moving down, all right? So if I select this trend line tool and I start here from the bottom, and then I connect this bottom to this bottom, right? And this bottom to this bottom, and I just let it extend itself all the way through. If we take a step back and look at this red line, is this line tilting upwards or is this line tilting downwards? We can see that this red line is tilting upwards. So this actually lets us know that the market is currently trending up. Now, vice versa, I could do the same thing here from this high to this high to this high and just allow it to keep extending itself. Now, if we take a step back and look at this red line, does this red line tilt upwards or downwards? This red line is actually tilting downwards. So this lets us know that the market is currently downtrending. So we like to use these trend line tools to help give us a visual representation of what the market is doing. I'm going to delete these trend lines, because now I want to show you guys how you would mark support and resistance. So the tool that you would use in order to mark up support and resistance, there's a couple, but the main one I use is this one right here, the horizontal line. All right, again, like I said, you guys, there's so many different tools. I'm not going to go over all of these. Please take the time to visit tradingview.com and familiarize yourself with the platform. So for support and resistance, I use the horizontal lines. And I'm just going to show you an example. I would just plot it there on the chart. All right, you guys, I'm not even really looking for levels. I'm just plotting it just so you can see. This is how I would plot levels of support and resistance. I would just keep using these horizontal lines. All right, that's one way to do it. I'll show you guys another way in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these drawing tools. Next, let's move on to the next tab, you guys. And these are actually our fib retracement tools. So if you are into fibs, which we will be having a training on fibs shortly, this is where you would locate that tool. All right, you would get your fib retracement and you would just plot it on the chart. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove that as well. Next, let's move on to our drawing tools. Now, you guys, this is where you can, this is another resource that you can use in order to draw support and resistance. As a beginner investor, I actually used to use rectangles instead of horizontal lines, just because it gave me a greater knowledge of where the market was going to go for me personally, or it gave me a better visualization of what the market was going to do. So the way you would do that is just select rectangle, and then you just go ahead and mark up your zones. All right. Again, you guys, I'm not marking up anything in particular. I'm just showing you an example of how you would use this tool to mark up support and resistance on your chart. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these as well. And here in drawing tools, they have other things that you can use. Just use whatever you find beneficial to your trading. All right. Don't use anything that doesn't need to be used. If it looks interesting, if it looks like it can benefit you, use it, practice it. If it doesn't, don't overwhelm yourself trying to learn stuff that you don't even need. Okay. So even past that point, we got a few extra tools here. We got like the text tool. You can type text on the chart if you wanted to. That's not too important, so I'm not going to actually do that. Next, we have our market patterns, you guys. All right. So we are also going to have a training on some popular market patterns that you can find when trading Forex. But when you locate those patterns, you guys, some of you may want to actually mark it on your chart just for visualization purposes. So that is what these patterns are for. All right. So one of the most popular patterns is the head and shoulders. Where is it? Right here. This is one of the most popular patterns that you can find in the market. And it looks like this. All right. You'll have your left shoulder. And then you'll have your head. And then you'll have your right shoulder. Okay, so you guys, this is what a head and shoulder looks like. So when you locate patterns in the market, you can actually take this tool to help you with visualization purposes, right? So then we also have our prediction and measurement tools, you guys. So we have our short position tool, we have our long position tool here. These tools are just things you can use in order to help determine your risk to reward ratio. And I'll just show you a quick example of what it looks like. You know, it looks like this. So it will basically tell you your risk to reward. So these tools are just used to help you determine what your risk to reward ratio is. I do a lot of these calculations on my own, so I personally don't use this tool. If you guys do want more information on how to use this tool, I highly recommend researching more deeply into this tool because I personally don't use it. Okay, so I'm sorry that I can't give you more information on how to utilize this tool. You know, we got some extra little icons that you can put on the chart. Let me remove this. But that's not really too important. Next, we have our measuring tool, you guys. All right. So this is pretty important because one of the hardest things as a beginner investor is learning how to calculate pips, learning how to count pips. But the great thing about a lot of these charting programs is that they make it so easy for you. You know, you don't have to know a lot of these extra mechanics because they've done it for you. So we do have a measuring tool here, and it does allow you to measure your pips. So for example, let's say I had set up these levels in the market. And I wanted to know how many pips I would catch from this point to this point. If I wanted to know the amount of pips in between these two lines, all I would need to do is come here to my measuring tool, hover over the first green line, click, and then drag down to the next green line. And if I take a look over here to the right, you guys, this lets me know that this would have been over 1,000 pips, 1,018.5 pips that I would have caught on this trade. All right. And vice versa, you can also move it upwards to see how many pips you can gain. So you guys, this measuring tool can be used either way. It's very, very useful. Here we have a zoom tool. It allows you to zoom into certain parts in the market, but I'm going to zoom back out. You can also come down here to the bottom and zoom in with the plus and minus. Zoom in, zoom out. You can also zoom using the scales. You can move the scale up, down, left, right. We'll be talking about these scales in just a second. Let me remove these stars. All right, now moving past that, you guys, I don't use this tool. I'm not going to speak much on it. I don't use this tool as much either, so I'm not going to speak much on it. However, I do use this tool to lock all drawing tools. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And what this does, you guys, is it allows me to like kind of move around with my chart, click around, do different things without actually changing where my drawing tools go, right? I could try to move this level of resistance up or down, and you guys see it's not going anywhere, right? It's actually moving my chart. It's not moving the line. However, if I were to unlock my drawing tools, I could come here to the same green line and I can move it up. I can move it down. All right. So that's very useful because it's very annoying when you mark up your chart and you are very strategic on where you want to place your areas and zones. And then you just screw something up and end up messing up one of your zones by mistake. So you guys, after you're done marking up your charts, I highly recommend locking in your drawing tools. Okay. You can also hide your drawing tools. All right. If your chart was looking a little too loud, you just needed to know what the naked chart looked like for a second, you can go ahead and hide your drawing tools. And now it's just the naked chart again. Lastly, down here we have our trash can. All right. This allows us to remove all drawing tools from the chart at one time. So if I hit it, it'll give me the option to remove drawings, and you will see all 3 lines have now been deleted. So now really quick, I want to just touch on the scales. So you guys, you know, Forex charts are just like any other geometry chart. You know, we have our X, Y axes. So here our vertical scale, which is our Y axis, actually shows us our price points within the market. All right. This is where price currently is. We can see price is currently at 143.295. And if we take a look down here at our horizontal scale, this is actually going to be our x-axis. And this just gives us time. Like this tells us time as in like months, years, etc. So we can actually take a look all the way back. So if we wanted to, we could actually go all the way back to 2016 and see what price point the market was at that time, which was around 131.111. Next, I want to show you guys how to create a watch list. This is going to make trading a lot easier and faster for you when you are in a rush to place a trade. So over here to the right, we have another menu bar, you guys. So many menu bars here on TradingView, right? First things first, we have our watch list and details. So as you guys can see, currently my watch list is empty. But me personally, when I trade Forex, you guys, I like to trade EUR and GBP pairs. EUR stands for the Euro, GBP stands for the Great British Pound. And these currency pairs usually move the most during London session. So if I wanted to add these pairs to a watch list for myself, so that way when London session came around, I could easily locate the pairs I was looking for, all I would need to do is come up here next to where it says watch list and hit the plus button that says add symbol. So now, you guys, I can actually start adding my GBP and EUR pairs. So I'm going to add GBP JPY. I'm going to add GBP USD. I'm going to add GBP CHF. All right, let's add some EUR pairs. EUR JPY, EUR CAD. What's another one? Let's do EUR CHF. All right, so you guys just saw me add all of these to my watch list. If I exit out, I'm going to hit the X. Now, if you guys look at my watch list, I have all 6 of those pairs here because I just added them to my watch list. So now if I wanted to go to GBP USD, I don't have to come up here and type in GBP USD. No. Why? Why do I need to do that when I have a watch list, you guys? I could just click right here, GBP USD. Boom. Wait, no, I don't want to trade GBP USD. I want to go to EURCHF. I'm going to click that. Boom. Look how quick and easy that is, you guys. Having a watch list is very beneficial, and it can help save you a lot of time when you're trying to enter a trade. So definitely make sure you guys come up with a watch list and utilize this watch list tool. Next, I want to show you guys how to set up alerts. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more lines here. All right, so I was telling you guys that the great thing about having a pro plan with Tradingview is that they allow you to set up alerts. And setting up alerts allows you to walk away from the charts and still be notified when something important is happening in the market. For example, let's say I really wanted to know when price broke this level right here, 1.09155. I could actually set up an alert. I could do this a couple of ways, you guys. I could either come up here and set up the alert and type in everything, right? EURCHF crossing value. I could type this in 1.09155. But an easier way to do it is to just click on the line here. When you click on a line, you have the option to customize that line the same way as you can customize everything else here. So if I wanted to change the color of the line to white, I could. If I wanted to make the line thicker, I could. If I wanted to change the appearance of the line, I could, right? I could even change where I want the line to be. Instead of me wanting it at 1.09155, maybe I want it at 1.09150. All right, the line, I don't know if you guys saw it because it was so little, but the line moved down just the smallest bit. All right. You guys can see I can lock it there and I can delete it. But let's go right here to where it says add alert. So I can literally just hit add alert. And once I hit add alert, you guys can see I can just continue to customize from there. All right, EURCHF crossing this horizontal line. I want you to let me know once. I want it to expire at this time. I want you guys to notify me through text, right? You can put email, you can have them notify you on the app, whatever is most convenient for you guys, but I like for them to send me a text message. You can even name your alerts, right? Look, cha-ching. This must be something I had on here before, you guys. These must be titles I had on here before. I can name it so that way when I get the text, right, it'll say cha-ching, and then it'll say EURCHF 1 day crossing horizontal line. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And now, you guys, we actually have an alarm set on this line, and it tells us because we have a little alarm icon here. On top of that, you guys, if we come over to our right menu and we select alerts, it will also tell us what alerts that we have active. Not only will it tell us our active alerts, but it will also tell us all of our expired alerts from the past. All right, so you guys can see I'm not kidding. I really do use these alerts. I have a few that have expired already. Okay. But that is not just it, you guys, okay? You can also add alerts to indicators. So if I wanted to add an alert to my RSI, I would just come here, hover over RSI, hit these 3 dots, and it says right here, add alert on RSI. So I'm going to hit that. And here, you guys, I can actually customize my alert. So I can customize, you know, if I want my MA to be crossing my RSI, you know, and it's just the same thing from that point, you guys, of choosing how you want to be notified, honestly. So you can literally create an alert on any tool or any indicator. So now that I have showed you guys how to set up alerts, the last thing I want to show you guys is how to save your charts, okay? The worst thing is for you to spend hours marking up a chart, putting on your support and resistance levels, creating a strategy, adding all these amazing indicators that you love, right? just to come back to TradingView and realize that none of it has been saved and you have to do it all over again. You guys, that's literally one of the most frustrating things ever. So the way that you actually save your chart layout is you come up here to the top right. Currently, this chart is automatically saved under unnamed, but I'm going to name this chart. I'm going to select manage chart layouts, and I'm going to select rename. I'm going to rename this MWM for Money with Mari. I'm going to hit save. And now I just want to show you guys how this works. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new chart. Now, as you guys can see, we are back to a completely different chart on the screen, right? So if I wanted to bring back the last chart layout that we created, all I would need to do is hover up here again to where it says manage chart layouts. Then I would hit load chart layout. And then you guys, I would just go ahead and select Money with Mari, MWM. And boom, here you have it, you guys. We are back at the same chart layout that we started with.
So you guys, this does conclude our TradingView tour of all the tools and resources I personally use in order to help me with my trading. I really hope that you guys found this helpful, and if you have any questions regarding this platform, please don't hesitate to reach out. That completes this lesson. If you have any questions or remarks, please join my discussion board and make them known. Feel free to follow me on social media and leave this emoji under a recent post for a follow back. Thanks again for tuning in to Money with Mari, and I'll see you on the next episode of Forex 101.